Okay, guys, how you doing? This is Dave. This is episode 6, I think. Something like that. And we're just about there. We have only a couple more things that we still need to do. In particular now, I've got in a box kind of down here. I'm going to tilt you down so you can kind of see what's going on. This box, and again, apologize for the mess and everything here. I got way more stuff than I should have. Came from Cordes Performance, and it was something that I was waiting on for a little bit. I should have gotten it the first time, but I blew it. But here's what we got. So this hose, evap hose, all that good stuff. Couplers. It's got all the different things you need. It's got the tube, and this is the money maker right here. This is the guy that I needed with the mass airflow into here. So this guy hooks up to your intake here. Mass airflow sensor goes right here, and let me adjust this a little bit so you guys can see it. Let me see if I can lift it a little. There you go. Mass airflow sensor, LS7. And let me just bring this right here. Coupler. K&N filter, and it should be dry performance filter, so we're good there. And this is for the, it's a breather line. They use rubber line for this versus how the factory does. So I'll just have to cut the line that's there because it's usually a snap-on fitting on the top. This just has a plug. It's a screw-on fitting, which I'm not 100% sure where the rest of that stuff is. So hopefully it's inside this box with the sensor. So we'll see. We got this box. And there we go. We got all the goods. So I got my mass airflow sensor, and they give you a really cool repinning. That explains you how to do the repinning and everything, and the 2 clamps I need to get the job done. So, and then this is the little fitting that I got to put the little clamps on. So very, very complete kit. It is definitely one of the more expensive systems, but let me see here. Sorry, got my finger in the way here. You see, okay, there we go. Definitely one of the more expensive systems, but I think now, just based on what I've done so far, back and forth, would 100% recommend this kit. It just gives you everything you need. You don't have to think about it. It gives you the sensor, the filters, the tube, everything's here. The coupler, you're just ready to go. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and, that's cool. I'm just going to go ahead and get all this stuff together, put the couplers together, and just get this intake on, and then we'll get back together again, and we'll flash the tune on, and yeah, how about we fire this thing up today? So I'm all installed, and I'm just about ready to download the tune. I'm just going to give you a quick look here what's going on so you can see. I have everything outfitted. It fits beautifully. It really is a really nice kit. I'm going to highly recommend it as something you go after. This looks a little... I never really showed you guys what I did here. So this is a double fuse tap, and I'm using it on the same fuse location that I did before, but I'm pulling this right now for when I download the tune, because if I don't, when you put it, you hold the start button for 7 seconds, no brake pedal, it'll go into it'll put into an ignition mode, like an accessory mode, not accessory mode, but it'll be an ignition where you can actually read and write the PCM. The actual name of the mode evades me, but it allows you to then go back and forth with putting the tune on and stuff like that. But you can't hold the brake or else it'll try to start up. So everything's in. I just unplugged these guys, like I said, to make sure that it's not running the whole time I'm trying to download, because it could take 2 or 3, 4 minutes for that, and I just don't want that draining the battery while you're dropping a tune in, because if it drops too low, it could mess up, and then I'm in a real pickle. But this is the 4.5-inch intake. Fits beautifully. It has a little AN fitting there that screws in underneath for your evap line. It's actually, I think it's not an evap, I think it's a PCV line, but everything's hooked up. Most part, I'm kind of looking here, making sure, just a once over here. I've got, I don't really care about the windshield washer fluid, but everything else is pretty full. This guy, let's do a quick look-see here. I may have an issue with this belt drive. This thing feels a little weak. Or not weak, it's brand new, but it sticks a little bit. So I'm not 100% sure. I may have to pull this piece off again, which is gonna suck. Okay, yeah, that's really full. So we're good there. That's really full. I don't think I need to do anything else on this. So I'm gonna get in there, load the tune, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing fired up. I'm excited. I hope you are too. All right, not sure how well you guys can see me, but we're ready for that first fire up. I'm gonna start the log here. We're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna have to run it and then send it over to Derek for him to take a look at, make sure we're kind of close. And then he'll send me another update and we'll go from there. All right, we're scanning. Definitely needs some tuning, but she looks good. All right, guys, so we are out and about doing a wee bit of logging here. I'm just collecting data for Derek here, so I apologize if it's a little crooked. Here, I'm just doing like a hand video here. I'll strap up the camera here eventually. I'm just dodging rain, so my apologies here if I don't do the best videos, but boy, she feels good. All right, folks, so first drive is over with the car. It went overall really well. I'm in the process of sending a log to Derek. I might have to go in the house to get a little bit better internet because something's taking a dump here. So it's not, like, it's a little hard to follow here, but I'm going to try to do this. Boop. And you can see how, you know, it's starting driving through it. And this is, I was sitting, just shifting through, and I'm logging right now, looking at different things. You know, particularly the things that I'm looking at and making sure that I'm not getting any knock. That's the one thing that I really look at, make sure that we're good, because we're only using the, and then sorry about this like really long pause right here because I'm sitting at a damn light for a really long time, but and I'm gonna push it through that and see if I can move it up. There you go. So now this is a pretty more spirited run through, and you know, it's just, you can see it kind of moving around the log there, you know, grabbing cells. We'll see if Derek wants me to grab some more thing. There you go. You can see it's like it's different misfire RPMs. So yeah, there may be something going on there. Maybe I need a plug or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I was getting a couple of spots where I was getting a little hiccup, and I don't know if that's a miss or what. But he'll definitely take a look at it and tell me. And you can see here, I wanted to look at some of these other things. This is with the boost district, whatchamacallit, the boost district intercooler. So let me find it. It's around here somewhere. There we go. So, whoa, slam it in there. A little bit of spirited driving. We're sitting at about 99 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about a 69 degree day. So it's about 30 over ambient. I mean, that's not fantastic, but it's not bad. Like, and I think it's also because I just, you know, let me flip it around again. Yeah, I'm not going to beat them up for that. Just, you know, I'm not going to beat the company up for that because it cools down relatively. You drop a few degrees as soon as you slow up. I think it's just the fact that, like, I just don't have an enormous volume of water for it. And that really does help when I had the 7-gallon ice tank. But in reality, that's pretty much where this thing ran. And sorry, I was dipping there. I'm just trying to look at this here. But that was pretty much where it ran. So I'm looking there, no knock. I just got to get this darn thing to load in my email. So I'm probably going to have to go in the house. But pretty soon, I'll get the cameras on it here. We can go for a ride. And you guys will get to see the wide open throttle pull. So I didn't mention it. I was going to mention this. Is remember, I don't have any auxiliary pump or anything like that. I'm just going, and you know what? It'd be interesting to see how much boost I'm making. I did not do a wide open throttle, but let me dig into that real quick, and I'll let you know. Okay, so I really don't have a good boost number. I was looking at it yet. It's definitely making some boost. I don't think, like, initially what I was looking at was making about 10 psi. I don't know if I got to check that again because I don't think I'm interpreting what I'm looking at right. But that's the target number. But I haven't done a wide open throttle pull yet, so we'll see what that does. But I got to go in the house. I'm not getting a good signal out here to be able to load some files. So let me do that. We'll get back to driving. Alrighty, folks. So this one's a few days after we had done our video here. Or at least after the first start. So little weird, like, sequence of events, and I apologize for it because about a week has gone by since we did the first start on it, and I've been driving it a little bit and getting it tuned and doing road tuning with it, and I can tell you, she's a beast. I love this setup. Just a little bit of recap. This is a stock LSA, nothing done to it except for the isolator. Stock upper. So it's like a 2.95 inch. It's about like 2.95, 3 inch. A lot of people just call it 3 inch. It's 2.95 inch, something like that. And a 8.80 lower. And then that's the drive setup on it. It's a stock LSA. I'm using a green belt. I have I believe it's a 4.5 inch intake. And that's from Cortez Performance. Fits beautifully. It's using an LS7 mass airflow sensor. I got my standard Elite Engineering catch can. You saw in part 5 was the Rotofab intake. I'm sorry, the Rotofab washer reservoir completion. I've got a Boost District version 2 large heat exchanger. I got extreme CFM, we'll call it increased volume supercharger coolant system reservoir. And then LS9 rails. I do have flex on this, but I'm not using it. This is just pump gas, 93 octane. Wawa gas, so nothing special there. Stock LSA, LS9 map sensor, stock LS3 throttle body, and let me think. I put the emission stuff back on, but that's, you know, I'll do a video that kind of summarizes all the big videos, but it's pretty straightforward, guys. I'm pretty damn happy with how this turned out. I'll give you a treat today, hopefully. We'll just take it out. We'll do a little bit of road tuning, or we'll just do a little bit of driving today. How about that? To let you hear some of the sounds, give you a couple pulls. I can tell you, I can just about get second gear, and I got RE71R Bridgestones. They're a little on the older side. They're not cracked because it stays in the garage all the time, but I do need a tire for it. So that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out what I want to do on this. Because as far as in the heat exchanger system, I have a reprogrammed, it's a higher volume, higher performance ZL1 pump that I custom made the bracket for and everything. So very happy with how all that turned out. It's working beautifully. 3/4 inch lines everywhere for the coolant system. It's I'm really happy with it. It turned out really well. It's clean. Everything fits really nice. This might be something that I decide to market at some point. I don't know. I think it's very simple. Oh, and the thing I completely forgot. This is a stock Chevy SS fuel system. Okay, let that sink in for a second. This is maxed out. I would say that this is a very low 11-second, high 10-second car right now. Just by seat of the pants feel. She's quick. I think she's probably a very low 11-second car is where I'm at right now, which is, you know, I was looking for low 11, high 10-second, but I didn't want to use an auxiliary pump or anything like that because a lot of people that's an additional thing. They don't want to drill their tank and everything. I happen to already have it. It's just something I didn't want to do because I don't want to go nuts with the coolant system. With the supercharger cooling. So, oh, and I forgot, CNR brick. So I did spend some money in the ZL1 lid. It's a stock ZL1 lid, but I replaced the stock ZL1 brick with a CNR reinforced brick, which is awesome. So I can tell you that it holds very steady. I haven't gotten much more between, you know, with really hard pulls on some pretty hot, like low 80, mid 80 degree days so far, because for some asinine reason in October, we're having mid 80s. Weather here. It's supposed to be boost season. It clearly is not a boost season. It's beautiful in the mornings, 50s in the mornings, and then like today, it's a little over 80. Anyhow, I wanted to set this car up. So there's some trickery that has to happen with the fuel pressure control module, and that is something that Derek Dunbar. I cannot recommend Derek enough. You gotta, if you're gonna do stuff like this, you gotta have a tuner who knows what the hell they're doing. So I'm gonna put it in here. You know, DD Tech Tuning. That is Derek Dunbar's website. You can email him directly. I can put you in contact with him. Message me. You will not regret it. The guy is a wizard. I'm only on my 6th rev of this. All I'm gonna do, it really only took 5, and that was only because we were doing much more like drivability, and we wanted to see how the fuel pressure. You know, how to keep up. I can tell you that this is probably about as much as you're going to want to put on this thing, and I'm about 10 pounds. And I can look at the computer, I'll check to make sure, but I was seeing like 9.5, 10 pounds on it, which makes it extremely fun. It's a very, very fun car. I can tell you that, you know, my previous configuration, when I ran a 10-1, I was at 12.5 pounds. When I ran my 10-1 at 4 miles an hour faster, I was still at a 10-1, but I was 4 miles an hour faster. And I couldn't hook up worth a damn, right? So, and I lowered the suspension. I'm not going to get into that. But enough talking with my hands wildly here. Let's get in the car. Let's go get you guys some fun driving videos. I probably should close the window. Just because you're going to hear a lot of window noise, but I'll keep it open when we do wide open pulls. Alright, I'm going to put the air on for a minute here, yeah, you can hear ooh man, that's not good. Alright, we got a accident here. Alright, jeez, that's no good. I pulled over quite a bit. Alright, did you see how I ended up turning the mufflers off there? Closing the mufflers up. Alright, now we're back open again. Alright, and you're going to hear that beep occasionally because my laptop is sitting on the seat here. I'm just logging. Just want to make sure that I'm getting good data here. But dang, I got to turn the air down because it is cold. Alright, so intake air temperature, we're sitting at about 90 degrees. That's about right for where we're at right now. It's a little about 20 over. And we're going to be stuck here in some crappy traffic here for a while. So once I find a spot, I'll find a good spot for us to do some fun pulls. But I tell you what, I do love having driving it on 93 and not having to worry about it. There's a lot of positives to this. You know, like I had mentioned before, you know, it's stock fuel pump. You know, it is programmed. The FPCM is definitely programmed as a fuel pressure control module. And what we're doing, you know, we're commanding higher pressure at the outset, and then it does drop. Like, so you're gonna, oh my God, you're insane. That is at like 6,200, you know, 6,500 RPM. It's definitely dropping. And that whine you're hearing in the background is the torque worm rear, because it is a worm drive. It doesn't matter what you put in it. When it's engaged, you get that like boop, 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 boop noise. So that's gonna happen. I'm gonna adjust you a little bit here because you look a little crooked. But overall, like I can't tell you how happy I am with it. The drivability is phenomenal on it. It really does not feel any different. We're still trying to work a little bit on some very low speed, like just when you first started surging, you'll get a little bit of shaking, which, to be honest, you know, I could live with, but Derek's a perfectionist, so he's gonna work he's working through that. He also does like 100 other tunes, but the dude is insane. So you send him a tune, and it's coming back. You know, the same day, within, most times, like within a half hour, especially if you don't have anything too crazy like this. This is fairly mild. So if you don't have anything too crazy, this is an easy build for him. You know, he probably most likely has a file that he initially pulls from, sends it to me. You know, we do a few different things. I'm not giving away all the special sauce. You got to pay him to get the special sauce. And he goes through some things. You know, you go through your drivability. This did not see a dyno. It's not going to see a dyno. I don't really care. The butt dyno says it's fast. My buddy Steve says it's fast. So I think, you know, compared to what it used to be, it's slow, but like it's slower, but it's not slow. So I really enjoy the way the car is handling, how it feels, the balance of it. I can almost stick it on these tires. First gear is completely useless. Second gear is kind of useless up until a certain point, and then it grabs and goes. So we're gonna see what we can do about letting this thing eat a little bit. I'm gonna go out to a couple spots where I like to give it a couple pulls, and we'll give you guys some fun. All right, stay tuned. Please turn. Thank you. Try to see if we can get a first gear pull here. Nope. It's a good try though. It was a good try. Ooh, getting blasted with sun. This is gonna be rough. Alright, let's see. And ladies, we are home, and that is that. You know, series done. This is you know, I'm pretty dang happy with how this turned out. I am what I would consider basically done. Maybe a little bit of additional tuning just for giggles. I was looking over the log. There is some cells that are pretty, it was pulling just a little bit of timing on it. So I'll probably go and adjust that. But other than that, guys, let me turn that air conditioning down so that you're not getting drowned out there. But what more can you ask for, man? You know, don't have to mess with the fuel system all that much. You just have to adjust for the, I have E85. You do not need to do that. I used the stock fuel line. I'm using the stock fuel system. I'm also stock blower, stock well, so the lid's stock, but I'm using a CNR intercooler brick. And then I've got a larger heat exchanger. I've got a large, as large as reasonable lines running to it. I got a little bit larger reservoir. I did the reload. And then other than that, I do have a Boostmaster cam. Remember that. I didn't change it on this, but I had that from before. So don't expect to necessarily put the blower on and get this type of performance without a cam. But it is, I've never done that, so I don't know what to tell you. But most importantly, 100% emissions legal. This thing, yes, it does have headers. Yes, it does have cats. But it passed emissions. And I've done that multiple times now in multiple configurations. So it is very possible. And I don't got a guy. I got a guy that I go to because he actually works with me. It isn't like the normal DMV where you fail, okay, this is it, and then boom, they slap a failure on it. He explained to me, the things that would need to be looked for when you're doing the inspection. So, all the normal stuff, this thing passes with flying colors. And then all the when it goes and looks at the different checks when it's doing when it's looking through it, that passed also. So like the readiness monitor. So, and I have another video, and I'll tag that on here somewhere, but I talk about how to reset them. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. This is the final episode of this build series. We're going to be doing some more fun stuff here. Hopefully I'll be able to get a few autocrosses in before the end of the year. Might even be able to get down to Cecil County Dragway to get a couple passes on, just to see what she does, all right? Because, it's in my blood. I got to do it, right? So I'm not looking for 9 seconds on this one, but I might be looking for 10 seconds. So let's see what it does, guys. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys following along. If this is your first time at the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not one of those guys who thinks their crap doesn't stink. I'm more than happy. I try to make this a learning channel for people. I can't say that what I do is gospel and always 100% correct, but I'm very happy with the results, and it lasts. While we're at it here, let me just clean my windshield with the working windshield washer pump that it's not how everybody else did it, but it fits beautifully the way I did, so I don't care. All right, guys, that's it. Take care. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next time. Keep the shiny side up.